Hi guys, and today I'm at the launch, the UK launch of the 2021 Isuzu D-Max. The Isuzu D-Max was actually introduced here in the UK in 2012, got a facelift in 2017, but as you can see, these behind me are all new vehicles, and they're one of the main pickup trucks in this market, the Toyota Hilux and the Ford Ranger being the other two, because some have moved out of the market, for example Mitsubishi and the Nissan with the Navara. So these are set to dominate the market, Isuzu reckon. Isuzu are hoping. They're increasing their dealer network, and in fact hoping to increase their sales. They're talking about up to 10,000 by 2025. So what do we have here? We have these cars are powered by a 4-cylinder diesel engine. That's the one engine you get across the range. It's a 1.9 litre, has 164 brake horsepower and 360 newton meters of torque. They come in 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive. 2-wheel drive is for the basic. The basic ones are called the business range. And you can see the white ones over my right shoulder there, and they start from about £25,000 up to £29,000. They come as single cab, extended cab, and a double cab, but they come with the manual gearbox, 6-speed manual. And then you move on to what they call the lifestyle or the all-purpose range. You can see behind me there the coloured ones, the silver and the grey ones, and they come as extended cab, double cab, and also they come with an automatic. They call the DL. DL stands for diff lock, and they come as DL20 and DL40. That's just the hierarchy. So for example, DL20 gets halogen lights, and then the DL40 gets the LED lights, which you can see just there on the edge of the screen there. And then if I move a bit further around there, you can see the white one. That's the V-Cross. Oh, I just forgot to mention, £31,000 to £37,500 for the DL range. Then you have the Adventure range, which is the V-Cross. That's a double cab manual and a double cab auto, and they go from £37,000 and £37,500 on the road prices, these, to just over £39,000. So here at this event, we're in a quarry, so this is going to be fun. So we're going to be taking them off-road. We're also going to be doing a road drive with them as well. I'll try and get you a bit more of a walk around and a practical look of the cars as well, and yeah, it should be really interesting. Of course, before we get into all of that, make sure that you're subscribing to youtube.com/browncarguy. Make sure you follow me on browncarguy.com and follow me on all the social media channels, as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and even on TikTok. Just follow my hashtag, which is of course #browncarguy. If you enjoy these videos, you can even sponsor them, and you can do that over at patreon.com/browncarguy. More about that at the end of the video. Cool. Let's check these out. Having all these grab handles is a really good idea, and also lots of storage spaces, like, you know, pockets here. This is of course the top of the range car, so it has the leather upholstery and everything. And like I said, the bottle holder goes into there. You have a little tray there. You've got a USB plug, so that's quite handy. Air vents, pockets, and you also got this hook here, which says a 4-kilogram bag you can hang on, so you can put your bag of basmati on the end of that, and that'll be able to hold it. So that's quite good, isn't it? Now, again, this driving seat is set for my driving position, and it's one of those things where, again, where you look at a truck like this and you think double cab, you think it'll be compromised in the back, but it actually isn't, because this is set for me. I'm 6'2", I have long legs, I have knee room to spare, no issue with headroom. I am sitting slightly upright, but that's, you know, about what you would expect. But other than that, I am not in any short supply of space whatsoever. You do get an armrest back here, and of course child seat isofix anchor points, and I think 3 people could probably sit in here. 2 would be comfortable, but 3 could probably fit in here. And I haven't shown you its part, so let me get back out again to show you that. And that's if I can figure this out. Here you go. If I pull this here, because this little hook here is designed to hang on to the headrest there, and underneath here is basically a secret storage compartment. Check that out. And in addition to that one, and there's one on that side, a smaller one on that side as well. And in addition to that, this whole backrest, of course, also folds down, and they put the toolkit and stuff behind that as well. So that's pretty cool. Let's see what the front is like. Here we go, and this is the biggest change that you will notice compared to the previous D-Max is the interior, the quality of the interior, the thought that's gone into it. For example, all the storage compartments that are now available. Look at that DVD player. Look at that. That's a bit of a throwback, but there you have it. Space there. Oh, and there's also the you can turn off the airbags for the child seats there. That and there. Let me turn this on because it's got a huge. This is obviously the top spec car. It's got a huge. The starter button is there. It's got a huge screen. You can turn that on. There you go. And you see, look at that. Look at that graphic that comes up on there. How cool is that? You didn't get that on the old D-Max. And then you can actually scroll through all of the options that you've got on there. So you can go through the trip computer, your fuel consumption, your range, lane keep assist. It's got all of that stuff on here now. Active cruise on the top spec, which is this one, with the automatic, not with the manual, but with the automatic you get that. The four-wheel drive system, what it's doing, and all the rest of it, settings. And in the settings, you can actually go through all of the driver support systems as well. So once that comes up, you've got these are all the systems it's got on it. Look at that. Rear cross traffic alert, parking alert. It actually has, which, there's the adaptive cruise control, which is, essential, I think, for a truck of this size, is a reversing camera. And it has got, of course, it's got parking sensors all around, but it also has reversing camera that you can see, and dual zone climate control, power supply there, USB there. There's your four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive high, four-wheel drive low, and over here you've got your hill descent, diff lock. You've got heated seats in this, and all of that sort of stuff. Cup holders everywhere. Nice sort of trim now. It's so much nicer looking. It's a soft touch up here with a sort of leatherette finish there and the piano black there. Then you've got a deep glove box, which is also handy. And these buttons here, these nice toggle switches, are so much nicer than you'd expect in a car like this. In terms of room and visibility, it's really, really good. I have no issues here. Got tons of room, tons of space. Even put my elbow on the shoulder, on the windowsill there. And I think it's time really to take this for a drive and see what it's like on the go. Okay, so let's give this thing a little bit of a go. Engine picks up nicely. There you go. Moves quite well. It's a torquey unit. It's a diesel unit, so as you would expect, it's got plenty of torque. It needs it for towing. This truck is capable of load lugging and towing duties, so the engine is suitably equipped to be able to do that. The main thing that you get straight away, you feel with this car, look, it's binging and bonging, and this is a testament to all the car-like features that they've added to this truck. In terms of the safety systems. I mean, that bong there is just telling me I'm 2 miles per hour over. This is actually connected to Google. So this is, by the way, it has got wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So you can just do that wirelessly now, but of course you can also connect it up as well. And this is running the sat nav from there. It's running it from there, so it doesn't have its own, but it runs there. Which actually, to be honest, to me makes sense because that I hardly ever use in-car sat navs anymore. I always use, something Google Maps or Waze or something like that. So like I was saying, the main thing of it that you take away from this car within minutes of jumping into it and driving it is the definite improvement in the refinement of the car. Now, not just in the way that the car feels and looks, which I've gone through, because all of the switchgear and everything is so much more car-like. The seats have an 8-way adjustment, so it's packed with luxuries and everything that you could want for. But also in terms of the way that it drives, because there isn't as much, noise and vibration. There is some. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. This is a truck, and as we'll see later on, it's capable of doing some incredible off-road theatrics as well. So, it's got suspension that is quite high and has a lot of give in it, and therefore that has an effect on how the car feels. So, for example, you do feel that you're sitting tall. You will feel some shimmy and some judder at the top of the body, as the chassis basically feels its way along the road, but that's endemic of the fact that it's got the higher ride height and the suspension that has such a long travel in it. Having said that, the ride is very smooth, it's very quiet, it's very reassured. You do feel the bumps and the ruts on the road. That's transmitting that surface imperfections to you, but it's not jarring, it's not uncomfortable or anything like that. So overall, and also the main thing, like I said, is that you can hear the diesel engine a little bit. It's relatively quiet unless you like. Even if you put your foot down, it's not that loud, So the refinement level is vastly improved. Very little wind noise from here. You do sit at this height where you are, eye to eye level with truck drivers and with lorry drivers and bus drivers and stuff like that. So that's always useful. We're not doing too much city driving on this route. We're doing mostly out of town. So out of town is like, how does it handle itself? Well, it doesn't feel too big or unwieldy, honestly. A lot of you guys who have watched other videos of mine will know that I am a fan of trucks. Even big American pickup trucks, the American size, the F-150s, the Rams of the world, those sort of trucks, but also these kind of things as well. And I like them for their utility, their purpose, the fact that we've seen that you could load up the bed with all kinds of stuff. You can get the bed cover, that's an optional extra. There's 2 types, and you can also get the drawers and the compartments and stuff like that. So how you want to store stuff like in the bed. But then you've seen that you've also got quite a usable rear accommodation for families, and also quite comfortable here in the front. And now with all of these features, a nice stereo, which I've been listening to just now, climate control and all the rest of it, it's really, really handy. But the thing about it is that the sense that when you drive the car, you're having a little bit of a laugh, because it does feel a little bit old school, and it's a bit like roly-poly and stuff like that. But actually not as much play. Okay, I mean, there's about that much play, and then you start to get a response from the steering. But the steering has improved. Lighter at lower speeds and firms up a little bit, but still quite light, actually, quite very easy to use. But like I said, you get this sense of fun, but also the sense of invincibility, indestructibility, where you feel like you're sitting in something very strong. Of course, now it's got all the airbags and the safety systems, adaptive cruise control. It's got lane keep, so actually it will tell you if you're wandering across the lanes and stuff like that. Collision mitigation, all of this. It even has a feature where if you're parked face front into a wall, and instead of putting it into reverse, you put it into drive, and you think you're going to reverse, it will try and stop you driving into that wall, because it will know that there's an obstacle there. How clever is that? So these trucks are getting really, really clever now. But the main thing about it is that how does it drive now? So one thing I will say is that the brake, they still need quite a bit of travel before they start to bite. So again, as in with any truck, you need to think ahead a little bit about that sort of thing. But having said that, they're perfectly fine. They do hold the truck to a halt, as they should do. But also they're quite linear once you start to get that bite. But that initial sense of sponginess is there. But other than that, it's not really a problem. So we're able to open it up a little bit now and throw it through a few corners. And again, for something that's so high riding and something that's so tall, it's a fair amount of confidence that you got to do this, actually. And the grip is fantastic. Turning is actually pretty faithful. It's not too bad at all. I mean, it's not like there's heavy understeer or anything like that. Quite responsive in a way that a truck could be responsive, but also gets up to speed pretty quickly. I have found one thing is that initially, just off the line, there's a little bit of a hesitancy as you wait for the engine to get up to speed. But other than that, even now in gear, the automatic has been improved. So this is a kick down. This took a little bit of a while, but there it goes. But again, I'm just powering through these bends in this truck, and it's doing really, really well.
In one line, turn right.
The automatic, they say, has been sped up, so they've improved the response time on the automatic, so it reacts a bit quicker. And I think you can see that. I think they need a better engine in this. That would be my only point to say with this car. Is that I think that it'll be interesting to see what they do in a few years' time, because they have just refreshed this car, so they're expecting it to last a while, and they have forecasted 10,000 sales by 2025, and they're expecting to hit that target even earlier. And so it'd be interesting to see what they do about moving over to electrification of some kind. That'll be interesting when they get to that point. So this engine is very tractable. It pulls well, but it could do. I mean, this vehicle is designed to load lug and to pull. It's not designed to be a sporty thing negotiating roads of this kind. So fair play. I mean,
Turn right.
I'm asking it to do stuff that it's not really supposed to do. So maybe I'm making too many demands of how the engine is set up and how the car is actually set up. So this is a car that actually I think I'd love to try this back in London. I think it'd do really well around town. I don't think it would be an unreasonable size or anything like that. I also think it'd be quite easy to, with all the cameras and the parking sensors and everything, I think it'd be quite easy to handle there as well. But also I think it's not a bad vehicle to live with. Something that has purpose, poise, and maybe a little bit of panache. Time to try the manual version of the car. Okay, so let's take the manual for a drive. Oh, wow, okay. Picked up all right there. No, it runs out of revs at 4,000 RPM. If you're looking at revs for changing, then that will run out of revs. Now, here's where, to be honest with you, like the way that gear lever was nearly wrenched out of my arm as the clutch kicked in, because of that drivetrain. This is where it all starts to get crude again. This is where it all starts to feel very truck-like in this manual version. Personally, I get a perverse pleasure out of this, so I'm actually quite enjoying shifting this myself. However, and it's not a problem. It's got quite a big throw. And you can see that from the fact that how much space they've given this, I don't know if you can make it out, but how much space they've actually given this shifter here, and they've moved the buttons, which on the automatic are next to the shifter, they've moved them to the top of the console, out of the way, which makes them a little bit more difficult to see from here, but once you get used to it, you'll get used to it. But it is a tall thing. They've put in a lift safety thing for reverse gear, because reverse is a dog leg, left and up. So what they've done is they've put a lift thing to get into reverse gear. But once again, like before, the car is performing very well. Now, of course, you are able to work the torque even better when you're shifting it yourself. So where the advantage is that like you can hold on to the lower gears rather than it changing up. Keep the torque on the ball, keep it in the sweet spot, which I think is probably between, feels like it's just about 2,500 RPM and above, just there to maybe 1,000 RPM above that. You could heel in tow if you want to. It's just about possible. But again, I don't think it's that sort of vehicle. There you go, 4,000, change up at 4,000, that's the best thing. And it's a bit of a throw, a bit of a long throw, and the lever does move. Like I said, I'm quite enjoying it, but what I'm thinking about is this is now the DL40, so this is just the one below. This is the one below the V-Cross. So this is a pricey car. It's well spec'd and all the rest of it. And again, it's aimed at that more sophisticated audience and that more sophisticated market. So this is one of those instances where I would actually recommend that you get the automatic. Even though I'm enjoying this manual and I quite like it, but the recommendation that as a daily driver, unless you're like me and you just like to change gears yourself, that's fine. Get the manual, 6-speed manual. But overall, I think that the automatic probably suits the vehicle, particularly in the sense of it being an all-purpose vehicle and a lifestyle-y type vehicle. And this engine, I would say as well. Although I do think that the manual is, you can really access that torque with the manual box better than in the automatic, I think. But easy change. The clutch is a very easy take up. Oh yeah, just kind of just caught me out there. That change from second to third, but generally it's been fine otherwise. Easy light clutch, not a problem. Easy, good take up, good biting point. You know exactly where that is. I think it pulls really well. So overall, I would say a thumbs up for the manual, but more so for the automatic, I would say. So let's give it a little bit of a go through the corners, in fact, and again, it's nice to be able to change gears and do this sort of thing, but again, like the other car, there's a nice little S-bend here, through the dip, up on a bend, nice grip, holds the road very well, actually very composed for a truck. I'm not saying it's a sports car or hot hatch or anything like that, don't get me wrong, but having said that, you don't mind chucking it around even on these little roads. It seems to do all right. So I'm really enjoying this truck. I think what we need to do next is to try and drive it into a wall, and maybe do a little bit of off-roading with it. For the benefit of people watching, we are now, you want me now to drive towards an obstruction and not brake. That's what you're telling me, Tim.
I am. Stop here for a second. It's not common practice, is it? So stop here. Now remember, because we're doing it in a controlled manner, we've got somebody here. We've also used a polystyrene. That's important. It's nothing, you should never try this, never need to try it. It's a safety feature that's only there to protect you if you do something wrong. So let's say we're going down here.
So I'm aiming at that thing.
The blue.
At about 20 miles an hour.
20, 25, yeah. Okay. Your instinct is to brake, which would be great.
Right. Do I lift off or?
Yeah, in a second. Yeah, lift off now, lift off. Don't do anything, don't do anything. It's beeping, don't do anything, don't do anything. And that's the vehicle. Did you touch the brake pedal?
I did not. Against all of my better judgment, I did not touch that brake pedal. So but oh my goodness.
We're going to go in reverse.
Excellent. Well, that system certainly works. So there you go.
So we can go from zero. We can go to two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive high up to 60 miles an hour. It's not a problem.
Yeah, that's on the fly using the knob down here.
Cool. We've got a new actuator now in the box, which is 25% faster acting. So when we change into these different ratios, it actually goes in a lot quicker. So what we'll do, we'll stop here. We're going to go into the low ratio.
Okay.
Well, what we'll do is go into neutral. Yep, so you put it into neutral, that's it. And then we put it into 4. So you push it in, as it says.
Oh, it's a push.
That's it, you've got
there you go,
If you look at the dashboard,
it's coming up on the dashboard, traction is off,
So it's gone in. So you can see what they're doing this tilt angle here.
Yeah.
So it depends how, again, how brave you are. So what we're going to do, we're going to go, so a bit slow, everything's slow, so we're going to go sort of aim up. Don't aim a clock like they have, aim up. Aim up, keep aiming up. Now turn left. That's it. Stay up here if you can. Yeah, we're nice and high there. Yeah, nice and slowly on the pedal. Now there's a big bump here, but don't worry about it. Here it is. Boom. Oh, you seen it? We can see we're going to go down this hill here. Now, you can use engine braking. You know, back in the day with the the big diesel Land Rovers and stuff like that, you put it into first gear and lower it, let the engine. Yes, we can do that, but we're going to leave it in the auto side of the gearbox. So we can use hill descent control, the electronic program. So there's a button there. If you press that button for 2 seconds and watch the dashboard, there it is, it's
come on. Yes.
But if you had a switches on the button, would you know to have it at 2, 4, 6, 8 miles an hour going over this hill? You wouldn't know, would you?
No, I can't even see the hill.
Exactly. So when you're going over the hill, as long as you get a bit of angle on the car and you apply the brakes, once you let your foot off the brake, that will be the speed it sets the car.
Oh, I see.
So that's why I call it intuitive. So
I see. Interesting.
If you go over here now, we're going to head for that red speaker thing, and then we're going to turn right. So if you put your foot near the brake now.
This is very, very steep. I have no idea. I can't see where we're going.
Bit more brake until we get on an angle. Bit more brake. Bit more brake.
We look like we're going into a river.
Now off the brakes.
Right. Off the brakes.
Off the brakes. Just now you can hear them.
Yeah.
And
we're going this way.
Yeah, that's it.
Right. So that's.
Yeah.
What have you lost there?
That's it. And then we're going up this one. Now this is proper thick gravel.
This one up here?
Yep.
Okay, so
you might need a bit more.
We've still got the hill descent on though.
Yep, let's leave it on now.
Yeah, fine.
But it works in reverse as well, so if you had a fail and went backwards, you can do it in reverse as well. Keep going. I'm going to go
this
there.
Way, right, okay, cool.
So what we'll do now is to slow down a little bit, but let's not brake.
No brake? Off the brake? Okay.
Let's see if the hill descent
Let's do it, okay. We're doing this on hill descent, there we go. At least I can see where I'm going now.
Yeah. So you can feel the brakes pulling you back.
You can hear them and you can feel them. Yeah, that's cool.
I'm going to follow the blue vehicle.
And this has got, what is it, 800 millimeters of wading depth.
You're ahead of me. You're ahead of me.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah. So we go down this big arc here, and we'll see the sign. It used to be 600, and the air intake was underneath, near the inner wheel arch of the driver's side. Now we've moved it to just under the bonnet, under the engine bay, so we can do 800
There we go.
Now this, if I'm honest with you, this is about 600.
Right, yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, it's fallen. It was up to the red cable at one point. And your driving is about right there because you've got the window, you've got your bow wave.
You've got to keep the bow wave, exactly. So that's working, yeah. Because this is sudden, it's a sudden steep angle.
So if you want to put it into first, so that way, that's
so this
it.
Is it.
You can see it on the dashboard, it says 1. Alright, so get your nose up first. We've carried the water off the water splash onto here, so it's quite slimy. Yeah, we're on road tyres.
So this is, here we are. This is on road tyres?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is normal road tyres. Now. Okay. So I am just going into the sky. I have no idea where we're going.
Quite narrow,
at least you do. Okay, cool. That's good.
Now, 2 things you can do now.
Cracks,
you can either go into auto mode, or you can go into second gear. It's up to you.
Which way is it's up? Isn't
it? That's it.
That's it. No paddle shifts on this. So
no,
on there.
read me the sign on the right.
Shriek if you want to go steeper. Okay, right. So just how steep is it? Do we know?
Well, I know.
Oh, go on then. No, you're telling me.
You go over and find out.
Okay, so still in first?
Yeah,
we're
first
in,
or second. It's up to our auto. You
know what? Let's put it back into auto.
Yeah, we've got hill descent on.
Hill descent is on. So we're going over the steep hill, and they want me to scream, I think. Ho, 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 ho. Here we go. My goodness. I would say that was close to 45, if not. Yeah,
it's as steep as, you know. But plenty of traction.
Yeah.
So.
No problem at all there. In fact, the brakes were holding it, you know, in the middle of the hill, quite frankly.
Very, very deep sand. This is going to suck the car down into the sand. So, bit of throttle on, let's get through it. You feel it, can't you?
Yeah, there you go. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
You need a bit of power and traction off so that actually you can get those wheels turning. So there you go. I mean, I think that they've done a fantastic job with this truck. What they've done is they've taken a product that was already very good, but a bit rough around the edges. So what they've done is they've refined it and improved it and added to that showroom appeal to really make it something that you desire now. So something that you would really want to have, even as a family. I think that's what they've done. And I think that, you know, seeing as they've seen an opportunity in the market, a little bit of a gap, and maybe an interest in these kind of lifestyle vehicles that is growing in this market, I think they might well be onto something. Other manufacturers, you better take note. But overall, thumbs up. Please let me know what you think of the vehicle in the comments above, below, elsewhere, and I'll see you in the next video. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. And you know what? Leave a comment and share it if you can. And of course, you're subscribing, right? To youtube.com/browncarguy. Of course, also to browncarguy.com. And follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and even on TikTok. Just search for my hashtag. It is hashtag browncarguy. And you know what? If you enjoy my content, you can sponsor it as well. And you can do that at patreon.com/browncarguy. And your name will appear like these gentlemen coming up here on my content at the end of the video, in my written text, and on some of my Instagram posts. And that's a reach of what, 350,000 views in total on my YouTube channel, 2,000 plus subscribers, nearly 8,000 followers on Instagram. So you know what, if you have something to promote, you're most welcome to do that. And you can do that from as little as £2 or $2 a month, the price of buying me a coffee. You do that, right? And you can join this incredible lineup coming up on the screen, which of course includes Muhammad Humaid over in UAE, Partha Srinivasan in India, Tom Conway Gordon here in the UK, Isaac Boshard over in America, Reza Adil here in the UK, also Muhammad Qasim here, Siraj Abbasi here, Mark Waddell in Canada, Zaka Kogiani over in America, and a dear childhood school buddy of mine, Shaheer Hakki, also over in America. See your name coming up here. Just head over to patreon.com/browncarguy, and I'll see you all in the next video.